China's growing interest in resource-rich Africa has been generating debates. According to researchers, China's romance with Africa dates back to pre-colonial era. However, the relationship is being frowned upon by Africa's Western allies. Trade volume of more than $200 billion annually makes China Africa's biggest trading partner, with the U.S. and Europe in distant second and third positions, respectively. I spoke with an international affairs analyst, Professor Charles Dokubo, during the week about these Africa-China relations.
It depends on which way you want to see it. The Chinese could be, partners in development. And if we are not very careful as nations, they could also be exploiters on their own way. We have to look at the strategy they've adopted in penetrating Africa and compare that to the other European powers that have been here with us. And the fear in the minds of the Europeans, especially the Americans, that they are going to unravel all what they've done for democratization in Africa. Are those fears really on the right track? Or is just that of a leader losing control of a patch of land or continent he claims to be entirely his? These are the issues that we have to look at. Most of this aid they're giving you is being done, the work is being done by their people. They bring as much as even laborers to the country. And their attitude to the indigenous workers, the salaries they pay them, the way they are treated, sometimes, you will think that we are going through the same thing that we went through during the colonial period. So one has to be careful about that. The fact is Africa needs aid and support, but that Africa also will have to be selective as to the type of aid and support and assistance they need from China or any other country. If you allow Chinese to determine the tone and the context of that aid, eventually you are not going to gain anything. If all African countries will come together and decide on the type of program that they would like the Chinese to be involved with, then we can have a unified approach to China's power projections and economic projections in Africa. If not, the policy of divide and rule that has been used by past colonial masters will be adopted by China if they could selectively deal with each country on their own terms. It is always said that Africans are not united in issues like that. But also if you look at Nepal and the African response to Nepal, in which we have to work together with other Western states, not singly, but also working together in concert, you can know that in terms of business and serious matters, Africa could be united and then look at these issues as they arise. And then also most African leaders are very open to the Chinese, just because, business is business. They don't require anything about democratization, human rights, and all that. They don't even deal with such issues. They want business to be business and nothing else. And they've not questioned the characters of African leaders. And because of the fragile nature of the African states, they are taking advantage of some countries where they've implanted themselves and are doing business, and just business alone. We should be wary of it because, our democratic credentials are not as strong as in other parts of the world. So, nurturing democracy, we should be careful about the people we deal with, but also try to let them realize that the type of thing we face in our countries, the type of development we want in our country, not that because you're going to give us aid, you're not going to question what we do, and as a result, we are going to flood to you. We question the Western interference in our issues and all that. But for me, if democracy is not colorblind, why would you reject, or why would you want somebody else to direct you how to go? If business also is without value, then it becomes difficult for it to be real business, because there must be value added to it to make it to be successful. China cannot just come and do business and get away. They have a peer review mechanism in Nepal. We African leaders will have to monitor their peers and make sure that we can correct them and also bring them to notice. Name and shame also leaders, so that we can do this thing ourselves. We don't need external people to tell us how to conduct business. If we know that what we are doing is what is good for our country, and we're doing it with the oneness of purpose for the development of the continent, then definitely Africans should just stand up or man up themselves and make sure that we don't want these things. We don't, but sometimes monitoring such things are always difficult.
And that's all we have for you on Business Week at this time. I leave you with the graphics of African commodities market. Join us again next time. Bye for now.